Hello, everyone. This is Wolf. Back. Jeff, please. Back with a bit more building. Apologies for the out of sequence schedule for this one. I've had a actually pretty major life development over the last couple of days, so just been looking to finalize getting some property, and I already got this side taken care of. Yep. So that no progress has been made with that, and I'm probably going to close on buying some land. So, but that's what I've been doing the last couple of days, going out, seeing the property, walking it. Oop, not go there. And yeah, why do I keep doing that? Okay, placing the block in the wrong spot. So over there is my friend Quilliam. He's just hanging around. We're just hanging around, playing around on this one. Since it is going to be my forever world, I'm going to invite some people over on occasion. So he just happens to be the first. And I don't know, there might be others. Cyro may hop in or whatnot. Technically, this server is managed by him, so it is possible. All right. With all that said, right now I am just placing the next stage of the roof, because remember, we are building that barracks from Orgrimmar, and that is going to be the starter base. I think I will put a corner piece there. Ah. Oh, put one over here. I already off camera dug all this stuff out here, so yes, insert off camera mining meme right here. But all around, though, I think today we're probably going to get the base 99 or 98% complete. I seriously doubt get less than that done. Oh, I've got that connecting across there already? Okay. Yeah, okay, that is correct. Okay, these go here. And then this is tough brick, so I went and mined an iron vein recently, so I've got, well, not an entire iron vein, just a good chunk of one. So I've got a ton of tough to work with here. And those are just slabs, and I'm okay. I'm glad I double checked that. Let's turn you into a stack of slabs. This, all right, so that just means that this section down here becomes slabs, and then I put another set of slabs on top of them. Oops. Leave it to me to get everything else set up and then forget to close my bedroom door. So, hearing my roommate stuff. Alright, so this is continuing the ceiling along the top. Right here is where the tower that's going to go here is lining up for. Yes, it's lining up for the tower's going to go. So the towers are then going to get built in there. They'll be made out of andesite. So that just means I put the top slab along these. Or sorry, the bottom slab along these, so this area gets spawn-proofed. I don't want to overly light this build up, because I don't feel it would sit well with the way that Orgrimmar is actually feeling. Which Orgrimmar's, if you've been there, is a fairly smoky, dusky, dirty feeling city. So, go ahead and sure this all makes sense. And these two towers in the back are going to be different sizes than the ones in front. No, we are good with that. On that, so all right, let's hop down in here, take a bunch of damage because why not? Continue our wall. So let's start by finishing up this bit in here. So yeah, I know it's just going to be the same block continuing around, and that's okay. It's all the same texture, and that gives us a useful baseline, especially when we're dealing with interior walls. Because they're going to be cleaner, they're not going to get weathered or anything like what you expect on the exterior, and there we go. That was so hard, wasn't it? No. Kidding. Make sure the inside of the staircase here is not a black hole. Nope, it is not. Alrighty. Let's continue this along to the back here until we connect up to the other wall. So, stone brick all the way up to this point. And then the andesite's going to come down. So then that means where I'm standing right now lines up with the stone brick in the back here. So this becomes stone brick. So, pro tip when building, take your shield off. Lines up to here, so that goes here. I need to basically line it up to this spot here. Like that. So I'm again going to do the same thing I did on the other walls. I'm just going to create this pattern in here, make it look like it's semi-random, but also there's some method to the madness of it. So we're going to have this pattern continued over, and we're going to do the same thing on the side. Here. And there we go. And then you see how we have more brick and the stair step pattern up and whatnot. So this bit of randomness here, the only thing that's missing is connect this up right there. So then that pattern continues over. The rest of what goes in this space is just brick. Okay? So we'll take care of that real fast. Or not. It would be helpful if I actually place the block in the right spot. Okay, then we'll grab this one. We'll go back over here. See on this one how we've got a stone brick in that spot there, but this should actually be right here. This should be a stone brick. See how you've got the variation, the randomness here? It just tells me that this right here is wrong. Which happens. I am human. You're not perfect. Case in point. Alright, let's do that, and the rest of this becomes brick. Yeah. Okay. On this side, since we can't really have anything to mirror it up with, I mean, I technically could, if I wanted to, because it's, 6, and so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could do that if I wanted to, and it would match what's here, but then this is almost like it was carved. That was kind of part of the plan here, to have this feel like it was carved. So I'm going to use a different pattern in the back here, because this is also going to be where my nether portal is going to go. So I'm probably going to do a slightly larger than standard nether portal. So let's go ahead and carve this away. And let's also carve the back out. So I think I'll probably do a 3x3 nether portal. And to help decorate it, make it seem that little bit more mystical, I'm going to surround it with, I'm going to put polished tuff in here, and then I'm going to use the chiseled tuff to kind of, actually, no, I think I'll, yeah, the chiseled tuff brick. So to kind of surround the whole thing. I'll just grab them a bunch. So do that. And since this is going to be obsidian, this is going to have to be removed. Same with this. Create our border. Now the bottom here is going to be carved out for obsidian, and that will go here. Yeah, I know I'm not doing the corners. Bite me. I did not want to do that. Oh. Shit. Oh. That. Let's go across like so, and then down. And there we go. We've got another portal framed out. Now, in the corners here, however, I did want to use just a couple of these. Add that little bit of like additional mysticism. And now there we've got our frame for another portal. Also gives us something that we can use to build up with, help kind of match what's going on with the rest of this. So likely the most, this is blanky 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 blank, um, going to be something that I will have framed with bricks on the sides like this, and then I'll use the full block polished tuff to just seal the whole thing around. So I will need more of the standard polished tuff. Here, grab you. But maybe the very top one. I'll probably not make the very... No, if it's going to be visible, yeah, I'll make the very top one like that. Let's go around so I can get at this from above. That will make anchoring the base in that much more like realistic feeling. Ultimately, is one of the major things that would be really quite cool about this one. So, because it will help keep it feeling like it is that military structure, even though part of this is going to be essentially hidden in the wall along the back here. And I'm one short. Or two short. I can't count. So, and then the rest of this here in the back can be dealt with as part of creating the banding effect, which there is still more to do on the banding side. With that said, we've essentially just sealed in the interior. Yeah, we've got these towers down here, which I do need to knock out kind of a doorway into them. So like that, and over here we'll probably do the same thing, knock a doorway. This one out as a doorway, there we go. Okay, now this all lines up in here, so we have access to these towers. Got a space for another portal, which I'm going to throw that there for the time being. Getting dark. But this is actually quite a large and expansive base, and I have an extra torch for some reason. Quite a large and expansive base, but also there's a lot that you can put into these spaces. So, for example, in each of these, I could put maybe a super smelter. Over here, I could put a bit of storage. There's lots of possibilities with it. I do already have a plan for this space, which is perfect for an enchanting setup, just to like tuck it away underneath the stairs. So that will be one of the things that I do as a part of the decorating of this. So with that further ado, let's go grab our andesite and start building up these towers. I think I've gone as far as I can with the tuff. There's more I would like to do to it, especially by adding in things like glow lichen and whatnot, but that'll probably be one of those finishing touches that comes, a few days or weeks after I get this sorted out, because I really don't know what I'm going to be able to get into with those. This is all scrambled. Fine, where'd my andesite go? All the andesite I have? Thought I had more andesite. Max that out for a bit. That much iron on me. Okay. This is mildly annoying. Alright, I guess we have to go down to the mines to grab some andesite. There's an unusual dark spot. I think a torch used to be here and I must have broke it or something. Or maybe I moved it when I put the temporary enchanting setup in. Alright, let's head down to the mine, and there's a couple more places where, just within the mine shaft itself, you can get to some andesite. That's not the mine shaft, just like this little tunnel to go, or this little staircase to go down to the mining layers. A couple different spots where you can get to some andesite pretty quickly. So I shouldn't need much more than another stack or so of andesite, maybe a stack and a half. Won't take all that long. This is cave. Here we go. More andesite. That's one of the perks of, the changes they made to the terrain generation is you have so many more resources just beneath your feet than you used to. Now, when I was building my castle on Baycraft, I basically depopulated the area underneath my base for probably about 200 blocks in diameter, just mining andesite. So much andesite. Probably got a little over or a little under a stack there, so let's just go ahead and mine this area out a bit. So again, when you're working around your existing infrastructure, don't compromise it. So I won't mine where that torch is, even though it's a block of andesite. It's one block of andesite. I'm not going to hurt if I skip it. Or up here, I don't recall digging this bit out, but this also looks like it might have been naturally generated. Maybe this is where that block of dirt was that I mined out as the last thing I did when I was down here. I don't know. One of the things that you do, and you just like absentmindedly do it, and then you forget you did it, and come back and like, oh yeah, I must have done that. Alright, so that's definitely more than a stack and a half. But, Murphy's Law definitely is a thing you should be aware of. So, probably just grab these last couple blocks here and call it a day. Alright, we're done andesite mining for now. And I'm not going to mine out the interior of this. I don't recall if I did that. I'm not going to mine out the interior of this thing because I do want to use it for building a bubble vader. So, more stuff I mine out of it just means the more that I have to fix later on. So, saving myself work. Yeah. I already set up the stonecutter, so here, and I need to make a better way to get in through the base because I keep having this floating platform that I have to work my way around, but whatever. Not the end of the world. Where did I put my andesite walls? I know I had a bunch of andesite walls. They made like a stack of them, and I didn't realize I was there. There they are. Not wait until I have feather falling on my boots. Alright. So starting with these, I'm going to grab you, and we'll make a full stack of that. So I have a full stack of each for this bit. I'm going to replicate the pattern that I have here because I do like this pattern. So as it is, we've got on the back corners here, it's andesite. Boom, boom. The rest of this is regular andesite. Polished andesite. That right here is going to be our entrance in and out. That goes there. Sorry. This will be our entrance in and out of the tower. Okay. Let's replicate the same pattern on this side. Once you have a template to work with, it's actually surprising. I accidentally mined that out. Surprisingly easy to continue that template forward in a game. Okay. I am missing a block off of this wall. That's what's throwing me off. I was like, something's not lining up. It's because I need to fix this wall at some point. I must have messed up. Oh well, we'll do that in a bit. Alright, the next level up I had on either side, a piece of andesite. The rest was polished, like so. So you see as the pattern starts to develop, you replicate the look moving forward, and that therefore makes this feel much more machined. Which ultimately, yeah, the reason I chose the picture of Orgrimmar that I did, because that's when they were going through the really significant development Okay, so this one we've got a band all the way across the top and then 2 on either side in the flanking positions. That would be a band all the way across like that. The rest is polished. If you don't know much about the history of Orgrimmar, that's okay. It's just important to note that the period in which I chose the inspiration for this base is when they were heavily militarizing, they had heavily industrialized, they basically rebuilt the city from the original, like, mammoth tusks and whatnot remains to suddenly include this huge amount of metal that was just everywhere. After that band, we then have up on the corners, we have one in the center, and then this one just goes up, and this one extends around. So, got you there. You go like that, and then this extends around, not like that. So I believe we'll check. It extends around all the way across to the 3, yes. Yep. And I could technically even get away with skipping that and doing that next level there. I don't have to worry about it. Going around on this side and doing the same thing. So it's 2 on this side, and then it's like so. Get that continued over. I already basically completed this step right there. Go around and do the same thing on this side. I just pillar up with whatever random thing happens to be in my hand at the time. Alright. Now that we've got that done, everything else that loops around this one except the one high on that one is andesite. Oops, and then this one back around. So on this one, we've got an andesite there, and this one, we put an andesite there. And the rest is polished. And one of the things that change in Orgrimmar actually did, it made it seem significantly more like brutalist and aggressive. And I am out of andesite. There we go. So, and that ultimately is one of the things that is actually really quite cool about that, era for Orgrimmar, is that it seemed very, very much like this is what would happen if orcs were able to, or one existed in real life, but how they would build a modern city. So, that we've got this tower ready. I'm definitely that. And this tower is going to need some special treatment. Let's start with. Don't have enough for this. That is actually one of the cool things that you can do with something like an andesite or a diorite or whatnot, is you can just like make the polished version directly in your inventory. You don't have to smelt it or do anything silly like that. And of course that broke my pickaxe. I'm saving this diamond one until I can eventually get mending for it. But I will use it occasionally just because it's convenient. Also make another pickaxe here. And then this is one I got from a ruined portal. I was out exploring, and it's just silk touch. But it will be useful for, say, moving those bookshelves. Alright, so starting from top of this, I went up 3, except in this front corner here. It's not really going to matter with this one, because all of this is going to be encased inside, so you're not really going to be able to see it until it starts peeking out of the top. So let's head around up onto the roof and continue these upward. And that's also going to be an element of the asymmetry I'm going to introduce, just so that way it seems that much more like this was built this way because, oh, there's a bit extra water that comes down through here, or, you know, sand scrubbed it and created some scuffing. So there will be some replication of the stylization over there. I still have the 16 andesite for that purpose. And I did not mine enough. Okay, everyone, I apologize. I'm going to have to go back down and grab more andesite. Yeah, I'll just drop down here. It's simple. It's expedient. I've got plenty of bread. So maybe another stack. Underestimated by basically a stack and a half. Not the end of the world, but still mildly annoying. So you get to see me mine again. Sorry, everybody. Yeah. The interior is going to take a little while as well. I don't want to like commit to using banners until I have a decent supply of decent supply of wool and dye and stuff. So that'll be a project for later, another time. Yeah. I had 16 on me, I think, so this should reach a full stack of mine once I have 16 showing in the item slot next to my diamond pickaxe. And at some point in time, I'll have to come down here and blow up all the bird poop. Or maybe I'll create a special, you know, disposal system or something. All right, so that's 16 in there. So I picked up a stack. Go ahead and just, because I probably am underestimating again, grab a bit more here until I have, you know, maybe a stack down there as well. So I'll mine a little over a stack down here. Oh, it's a cave. Looks like one of the ones that I went exploring around on my first day. I just went around and lit up a bunch of random caves, mined some iron, stuff like that. Did not do a whole lot. There's definitely a zombie nearby somewhere. Now, in the inspiration picture, the very top of the towers is not rounded. It's very square and, like I said, brutalist. So, that's going to be the next feature that I put on these. I guess it's a good thing that I mined a little bit extra. But I do want to make it out of a slightly different block combination, so you're going to see a bit more going into this one. Let's sleep real fast. Okay. So let's first bring the other tower up to the same height as this one. Well, let's complete that element. So it just needs to go up 2 blocks. That's pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 1. Going to guess that I replicated the same, and this is where free cam comes in useful. Across the backside, I did that there. So this one goes. Okay. This one, however, goes like so. This is where we're going to add a little bit more of that asymmetry, and I just used all the polish that I had. Okay, I mined up more. So this is where I'm going to introduce my andesite. Really? And here is where I introduce my andesite. So got that done. This is now at the same height as that. I just need to put in my walls. For this one, these are going to basically just be tucking out or peeking out from below a little bit. Not really going to be a very noticeable feature, at least in this spot. I do need to probably fill this back in or something, or fix the wall. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we cross it. All right. Now, I'll go ahead and make all this polished. For the tops over here, okay, if you look at the inspiration picture, they're very square, okay? They look very much like a top of a screw or a bolt or something in there. And that is something that Orgrimmar actually kind of does very well, is makes seemingly simple things look very, very much industrial, even though they didn't need to be. So let's go ahead and do that here. So we're going to extend this across like so. I'm going to mine out this bit here. I, for some reason, lined this up wrong. There we go. And then on the top of this, I'm going to, again, very simple, I'm just going to place a solid block. But in this case, I'm going to place that block, or polished tuff. So let's go up and grab that. And that'll create the darkened centerpiece sorts that very much finishes off the brutalist look of the design. So I've got some polished tuff here. It's not much. Do that. That, and I'll just do the rest with the stonecutter. Okay. So now I've got my polished tuff. We're just going to fill this in the top here, and it's okay that there's this overhang here. That's fine. That's a intentional element at play here. Okay. Now we've got this very flat surface up here, which we can add slabs onto to finish off. That will be a step in a bit. Going to continue the pattern. We are going to extend it over like this. Make all connect up. And we will fill this in with the tuff. And then the ones in front are going to get a brazier, and then the ones in the back are just going to get probably I'll do like a tower or something on one of them, and like kick up a little bit or something. But the ones in front definitely, one has a brazier, the other one has like a frame for a brazier, like or a spot where you could put one, I guess. Yeah, I had to take a peek at it. So you'll also note that with these, I haven't actually done the capping that's done along the top here. So, and for the ones in the back, I'm not entirely sure that I am going to do the same design for the cap because they are kind of hidden in the back. So with this, we've got our square bit up here, and it's not going to be as ornate as the ones in the front because the ones in front are going to be more visible. And then I'm just going to block off the middle here. And go over here and do the same thing. Yeah, I know it's kind of cheaty, but it also isn't going to be an element of the build that's going to be really heavily scrutinized. Because you have to understand, parts of this are just going to basically be background elements, especially as you start building larger builds. Certain aspects of the build do have to be set aside so you can see other elements of the build. Let's go ahead and do that. Grab you, turn you all into slabs. And actually, let's grab a few more, because I know I'm going to need more than 26. I think that might be enough. Okay. So, andesite slabs go along here. Oh yeah, no, I'm going to need a lot more slabs. Okay. And then in the middle here are going to go the polished tuff slabs, which will do the exact same thing. And I'm not going to make this like... I'm not going to try to create like a special pattern with this or whatnot. No, the inspiration material has this as a flat surface. Don't feel that you have to add texture and detail and stuff and things when it's really not called for by the inspiration material. It's when you're doing that, you actually end up creating both more work for yourself and more confusion. Throw that in there. Because that makes the work that you have to do is significantly harder, but also it means that when it comes time for you to start appreciating what you've done, feel like you've done all these extra steps in there, and then it doesn't look like what the source material was, so you feel like you wasted time or you made a mistake. Those are not positive thoughts. Just aren't. Grab you and head down here. So these two in the front are going to get a brazier, and we'll build that in a minute. Part of the reason why I wanted to go mine all that iron, because I am going to need stuff to like prop up the brazier with. So I'm just going to leave this in here. You got a 2x2 space in here. I might do stairs in there just to help like emphasize that this is supposed to be holding up these burning braziers. Okay, just random floating stone cutter. Nobody pay attention. One, two, three, four, five, six. And yeah, I think I will put some of those stairs in, which fortunately I do have some left over from building this. Here. Here we go. Just like so. And then this can become the base of the brazier as it extends upward. Now, the one that's in the picture on the source material is lit. Don't think that... I ran out. Happening on me. I don't think that I will necessarily be able to do that for sure, but I'm going to give it a try. That's ultimately all that you can really be expected to do is try, especially in a game like this. You're supposed to have fun. So if you're turning it into a complex, really difficult thing, yeah, you're not going to have fun. You're just not. Just not going to have fun. All right, now you might be wondering, well, okay, now we've got that in there, got this little bit. What's the way that I'm going to create the brazier? Okay, well, believe it or not, there are several really cool blocks that you can get from the deep slate family that will actually help build up quite well for this. Oh, I keep opening the wrong one there. All right, so to save myself just a little bit of frustration, I'm going to clean my inventory out. I'm very big on maintaining a clean inventory. And then I'm going to take some cobbled deep slate. I'm also going to, because I'm going to be using the cobbled deep slate, I am looking at the wrong thing here. I'm going to grab exactly 8 hay bales, some logs, which I have all of these extra oak logs and stuff here. I'm going to make a couple of campfires. Yes, I know they're expensive to make, but I've got the logs to spare on them. Alright, 8 of those, and that will help us create our look, feel of this. That, so, pop up on sticks. Take a good chunk of iron. Yeah, productive mining session. We've got almost probably 3.5 stacks of iron were produced out of it, and isn't there is more. Okay. So it actually might have been closer to 4 stacks of iron ore produced from this. Okay. Got our stone cutter. Yes, we do. All right. Okay, gotta remember to eat. Now, we've got this hollow bit down here. It's not super relevant to the build, but just because this is going to be something that's going to produce like light, I want it to make it seem realistic. So I'm going to put torches down in here. This will also aid with the particles. And then on top of these torches, we will place the actual elements of the brazier. So, without further ado, we are going to start with, not the cobbled, tile. We're going to get 8 of these tile walls. All right. Place one on top of each torch. Okay. See how you've got that large pedestal field there? Which is exactly how the one in the inspiration material is set up. In fact, it's almost, it looks like someone's took a hopper and just lit a fire in it, but on a much larger scale. Okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to replicate the same thing. I'm going to need 12, 24. So deep slate tile stairs. Okay. Now, placing the first one is always going to be the trickiest bit. Once you've got in there, though, it's not super difficult. Okay. Now, see how you've got this overhang here? Trying to avoid that. We want to have a decent rounded space and shape. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, if I wanted to be like super technical about it, I could just place the hay bales in first. So, and then put the campfires on top of that. But I feel that leads to just like a little bit too much forward thinking and stuff in there. I'd rather have the little bit of randomness that sometimes makes this game so much more fun. And these are all slabs, so it's not going to really do me any good to place stuff there. Okay, let's do that. And on top of this, we put our campfires. Bit of advice, alternate the position of your campfires. That way it looks like you have actually placed logs to burn there. Lastly, I'm going to need exactly 24 deep slate tile slabs. I forgot they double when you do the slabs there. And this goes along the top. This will hide bottom bit and make it so that way if you're just looking at it, you don't see the just looking at it from above, you won't see the flaking on hay bales. On the bottom though, I'm not totally sold on this. I might need to expand this to include the corners a bit. So I don't know. Let's say we do that on the other one. So that will mean deep slate tile walls. There are a few more of them. Let's create 2 versions of this. So we're still going to leave our torches in there because this is still going to be a light source. Okay. But let's instead use the tile walls top like this. I'm already hesitant about this because it's making it significantly larger. I'm going to make it substantially larger. I don't know. We'll just have to see what the end result looks like. So, place a block like that. And work my way around. That should wrap up automatically. Put our hay bales in here. Doesn't really matter what way you orient them. That's one of the cool things about hay bales. But I still do like to, with the campfires, give you that little bit of an alternating texture variation in there. Alrighty. How do we look? The one on the left is more true to the original inspiration, but the one on the right, I mean, the one on the right's massive. It feels massive. But if I look at it from below, it also feels more realistic and the hay bales are hidden. So I think that decides it for me. Let's go grab 8 more deep slate, and I will make... And I will make the walls to fix that bit. See, this is one of the things with building. It's like, try different things. Don't get locked into an idea. Play around with it. Something doesn't work out exactly how you wanted it to. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Everything can be fixed. So, and the torches will add a nice little particle effect. Unless someone is like at the exact same level that I'm at right now, they're not going to know that anything is going on in here. And again, when you're dealing with builds that also include elements in the background, you're going to have these little compromise elements. It's unavoidable. It really is. But with that, we have the exterior of the starter base 98% done. Yeah, there's a few more things that I would like to do with adding in like motion, movement, maybe lanterns eventually. But all things like that, that take time. So I will come through and make another pass with this with more details and stuff as I have more resources over time. I think for now it's ready for move-in. Well, to start working on the interior, I should say. Now, let's clean out my inventory. Go there. Now, I was originally going to use coarse dirt in the floor there. I think I am going to commit to that, but I'm also going to mix in some terracotta. One, it does make sense that there will be certain parts of it that will be a little less used than others. So that just helps link everything together for me. Plus, I just realized I'm forgetting the wall that I need to fix on the other side. Oh, I need... And... grab some view. Yeah, because there's this gap in the wall down here that I need to fix. Okay. Let's start here. I'm going to... There we go. Make you, all of you, into just polished. I know I'm not going to need that much, but it's still worth it to do it. So we do want that to be connected up. So sometimes it is really that simple, especially when you're dealing with an intentional asymmetrical build. Creating those levels of variation in just the texturing side. All right, let's put all of our torches on the walls and in spaces where we are going to be placing blocks. And actually, I don't need to put one there. That way we don't end up like breaking a torch somewhere and forgetting about it and it goes badly. Put you here. Where's the torch in here? All right, I think settle this off. We should probably put a few more torches in like the corners here. Yeah, there's one up there. Bring everything off. That one would go there, and so you would actually go here. That's decent enough lighting. Now, I have a bit more gravel if I need to do more coarse dirt, but I think I'm going to start with the terracotta side of this. So, inside these, I do want to put these towers. I do want the floor to be terracotta. Okay, and I'm probably going to extend it out to here, just because. Why? Because these are spaces that aren't going to get as much foot traffic, so to speak, as the other elements in the build. So, like you would anticipate a lot of foot traffic, like heading towards the staircase in the center, or maybe back around the side to the Nether portal. A little bit less in these towers. So, therefore, the terracotta will be kind of a cleaner look. With that, I'm probably also going to convert everything under the stairs here to terracotta. See, there's a bit in the mine down there, so. This is where we are now kind of definitively cut into the mountainside. And see that there's the area that I originally excavated out. Alright, let's do up to there. Terracotta. This pass. And yeah, there are other colors that you could use to combine with this. I'm using these two specifically because I want there to be that, like, desert field build. Drop down and grab the stuff I just mined out, because I don't want to lose any of this, because dirt is actually going to be kind of a bit of a premium here, but it is worthwhile to save when I can. Connect across here. So that way we can more easily access the entrance to the base. And then this is all going to get terraformed down, and I'm probably going to completely cover that space over there. Just because it makes the most sense to me. Okay. Alright, so, as I mentioned, high foot traffic areas get the coarse dirt, so that will be going up to the staircase like so. That will probably also, well, definitely include the entranceway here. And we're going to have to blend these two together a bit. Like so. That, yeah. I know, my mind is thinking, what else would work well with this? Rooted dirt! I don't have rooted dirt. Even though I just placed those three, go ahead and replace them with coarse dirt for now. And then, like I said, probably a path wrapping around to go towards the Nether portal. So if you're ever making a pathway that you need to have, like, go at an angle, my recommendation is to use the rule of three. So that way it gives you kind of a baseline to work with, and then you can clean it up and expand it later. So if you're curious as to what that looks like, by jogging this over 3 blocks like I did, gives me like some areas where I can identify, okay, I need to expand that, I need to clear that out. So you don't have harsh angles. It sometimes can be unavoidable when dealing with square blocks. Now this looks kind of natural that people would just walk in a straight line and then gradually turn. And then you would have this bit here that probably wouldn't be that heavily trafficked because they're not going to try to stick to the wall. They're going to go a bit wide. And then the same thing here at the Nether portal. We're going to go out a few blocks, probably 3, just to connect everything up. And then I'll probably 2, 3. That was 4. 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Expand it a little bit here. And yeah, it's not 3 blocks. It's much larger, but it's also going to be a fairly high traffic area of the base that you would expect congregation here, especially if you're in a barracks. You're going to have like guys hanging around the Nether portal and stuff. Actually, no. I'm going to contradict myself in this one. I don't like this. I'm going to do that. Yeah, okay. And then just replace all of this with regular terracotta. Give it that very, very warm desert feel. Which Durotar is basically a mesa, so it will have this same desert feel quite substantially, actually. Let's go ahead and clear out the remainder of this dirt. And then we can start taking a look at the floor and moving in. Yeah, this already feels much more realistic to what Orgrimmar would have. Much more realistic. Okay. Grab all this. I keep placing blocks in the wrong place. Yeah. So, you'll note there isn't like a whole lot of foot traffic on this side. I think I will end up making this side much more of like just a general storage space. So this is just going to be a wall of chests when I'm done. Oh, how I miss Unbreaking 3. So, villagers are probably a couple of weeks down the line in mass, but I may take the time to get Mending and then Unbreaking 3 and the Fortune 3 villagers from a nearby desert village or something in the near future. Like, reasonably near future, maybe in the next couple of days. Alrighty. Grab you. With that, we have basically connected up all of our floor in here. And so you've got your high traffic area where the coarse dirt is. You've got your soldiers marching into the Nether portal. Got your soldiers marching up the stairs. For all intents and purposes, everything that is like super relevant to the operation of how this starter base basically will work is ready to go in. I won't need to rip out the floor to fix something or anything. I could start putting in things like a automatic smelting setup so I don't have to manually babysit. Oops. It ran out. So I don't have to babysit a forge or a forge so much. Dark right here. I know it's probably not, but force of habit. You should have seen some of the mines that I made when I was playing on Baycraft. That's close this up. I essentially had torches every like 5 blocks for a while. I was just so afraid of mobs spawning in. Should be more than enough. As for this bit back here, I do have a plan for it. So, but it's also going to be a part of like in the picture. There's a like a sheer sandstone or whatnot wall behind it. And I would like to like replicate that a little bit as well in there. I grabbed like 3 stacks. I do not need this much terracotta. And there we go. We've got the space for the nether portal to go in. We've got space for chests. We've got space for a smelting setup. Other kinds of farms and useful items in here. Let's go ahead and start working on moving in a bit. We're going to have to put in chests. We're going to need to build a smelting setup. All of these things, very easily doable. So, where's my coarse dirt? The rest of this is just dirt. I know it's kind of counterproductive just to be putting things in here only to have to come back through and collect them again in a bit, but I mean, I'm organized. Fight me. Go here. Grab you. Got a bit of stuff there, so we are going to need chests, lots of chests. So let's make basically a stack of chests, because some of these are also going to get turned into hoppers, and here. That. Grab you. I think what I'll need 6 hoppers. Enough. 4, 5, 6. And you may be wondering, 6? Where do you get 6 from? I've got in one of these chests a bunch of slabs turn into a composter. So I can have an auto composting setup and an auto smelting setup, basically at the same time. So, and they'll probably end up going in either rooms near each other or whatnot. Do I have any more coal hanging around? I need to go mining for coal. Grab our obsidian. We can place that one down there. Alright. Signs and item frames, that will take a little bit. We're not quite there yet, but yeah. Oh, I meant to go make... That's why I wanted 6. I need to make another forge. Cobblestone. Furnace. Where do I keep getting forge from? What game have I been playing that's they're called forges? I don't remember. Alright, 18 obsidian, that's more than enough for another portal. Especially when I'm doing a 3x3. I could do smaller, but no. I want a 3x3. And I could set it further into the wall if I wanted to, and like hide the obsidian and other things. If I get a zombie pigment or two that comes through, okay, whatever. I'll have a zombie pigment or two that comes through occasionally. So, in this space, we're going to create a fairly simple super smelter setup. It's going to be able to smelt. Basically, it's going to go into the same chest. So this is going to be very, very simple, very, very early days in the game. I want it facing this way. Do I want it facing? Oh, I do want it facing this way. Okay. And then at the top here goes that chest, and then Split across you guys. Coal. There we go. Smelting setup. Since it's probably going to make sense just to have it in the same general vicinity, there will be times when I'll have large amounts of things that will need to be smelting. I could put the composter here and it would fit, but I think I'm actually going to put it over in this space and may make a smaller little bone meal setup here. But there is an Enderman nearby. That. And oh. Unlikely to have much more than that, but we've got a place to store that, and then bones can also go in here. That means the rest of this wall can get devoted to storage. So we've got our center line here. We're probably going to put a crafting table and other stuff in this line, so we'll want chests in pairs extending out. Yeah, no, that actually works out quite well. If I go 4 chests up, will I have enough to cover that space? I think I'm going to be... No, I actually have plenty. I for once, made enough chests. Alright, so we've got our crafting table here. Go around and grab our stone cutter, this crafting table, and I'm going to use the silk touch so I don't have to destroy the books. I will need. And then, or not the books, the bookshelves, so I can reuse them. Yeah, I know it's kind of a waste of use of a gold silk touch tool, but if I get enough levels and whatnot, I could probably get silk touch from just random enchants anyway. And this will produce level 30 enchant setup. So it's not the end of the world. It saves me just a little bit of wood. Just a little bit. All right, and then I almost always use barrels with my enchanting setup for things like lapis and, you know, for their anvils and stuff. So we've got 2 good spaces where we could put an enchanting setup in here, and I think I'm going to use this one here. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Whoa. Okay. You can use this space right here to put a lot of bookshelves in. Make it seem like there's more here than there actually are. Break that. Okay, so we've got 6, 9. We need 15 bookshelves to create the enchanting setup. Both level 30 enchants. And that sticks out more than I was expecting it would. That area. Might need to tweak the location of this one. Actually, that one should be fine where it is. Just need to basically repurpose this pillar. Which, again, that's one of the things that you can do in a build. You don't have to get locked into a design. You can repurpose elements of it, especially if it's needed for, you know, say, full-powered enchanting setup. There. That means within, if I put an enchanting table here, means within a 5x5 block radius, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I have some extra ones here that can be used for decoration. This should produce, let's toss in something unenchanted. Level 18 enchant, so it's maxing out to what I have to work with. So we can get high level enchants here. Put our... Did that just rotate? I thought it... Okay. Put that there. And then worst case scenario, if there for whatever reason there's like a glitch with the way this is set up or whatnot, I can always condense it a little further, make it work. It should be able to get me level 30 enchants here. I also forgot that I need to cover this in, so let's go ahead and grab some slabs and stair blocks. The tough variants. Probably just gonna do brick because it's what I know I have a bunch of. And I wanted to leave that as a level as a base floor. I probably will want that, and then that here for this space. That stick out too much. Little bit. Little bit. Oops. Less so. Yeah, it sticks out less so. How does it look from down below? Okay. This looks like a nice little hidey hole type of, reading hidey hole type thing. So, yep, that works. That works for mission accomplished. Alrighty. Oh. I placed that? Or maybe an Enderman did. Okay. Alrighty, let's last thing to take a look at in here is going to be lighting. Now, in Orgrimmar, they hang braziers from chains like you wouldn't believe. With that said, I don't really have a lot that I can do in that area. Like I have fire tick turned on in the world right now, so I don't think I'm going to change that. We'll just have to deal with the occasional little bit of weirdness as it crops up at times. But for decorating in this particular vein, I think what I'm going to do... I don't want to use a huge amount of iron. I think what I'll do... I make lanterns, hang them from stuff. Yeah, okay, let's do that. To make lanterns, I'm gonna grab a few of you, and I'm gonna use you as like anchor points for the lanterns, and the lanterns are just gonna hang from those anchor points. So, throw you there. Actually, facing the wrong way. Alright, now you're facing the right way. Alright, so where do I want these anchor points? Let's make 30 of them. Either side of the entranceway, like so. Do the same thing on the outside. So they mirror each other. Let's do in this middle corner here, we'll put one there. I'm gonna put it pretty high up. Actually, the ones in the corner here, let's just go all the way up to the top because that's going to extend down to here, but then there will be a lantern here right in front of the staircase. And then 100%, I want one on either side of the Nether portal. Let's see what that looks like with a few lanterns. Ready. Oh. Lighting design is always tricky, so it's not going to be perfect in your first outing. That did get close. That did get close. How many more? I need to make 3 more for the front. And I think I'll make 1 for each tower, so I need to make 7 more lanterns. Let's do, guys, front here. And like as you walk inside the door, I'm just going to put it directly above the doorway. How high up to that? 3 blocks above the doorway. Okay. That'll give it a decent amount of elevation to work with. Torch in here. Good lighting. Still a little concerned about that corner there and this area as well, so I'll have to take a look at what the light levels actually are. So go to F3, you can see that this is light level 6 and 7. Go around here, we're still quite high up there. This is one of the darker spots, gets down to light level 3, but otherwise it's perfectly spawn-proof. This is actually spawn-proofed in here. Oh, I should probably put lanterns in here too. See, now that I've unlocked the lanterns, now that I've started doing stuff with lanterns, I'm going to find uses for them all over the place. So, then turn you off. Go upstairs. Still torches upstairs as we work our way up here. And definitely going to have to like put in the beds and everything. So that I think will probably be done off camera because, you know, it's a lot of tedious back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I'm confident here and now in saying that nope, starter base is done. Just need to move in and we've got all our critical functions taken care of and accounted for. So for that, that means the next step is going to be going to the Nether. So I do want to get that ball rolling on that. I'm going to need you guys. I don't need you. I'll need you. Can never have too many crafting tables. And let's convert you to ingots. NC3, it's not a huge thing to have, or not have if I end up missing it. That. Not the greatest armor, but it will suffice. And did I lose you guys? OBS seems to think it disconnected for a moment. Okay. Stuff back in there. Won't need much of that. Or go in. Let's see if anyone messaged me about stuff. Nope. I was a little worried if Quilliam had to go somewhere or something. So he did not message me. So loading the Nether, we are in a basalt delta. Spawned us pretty high up in the world, actually, which is good. That is good. Okay, so go Soul Sand Valley down there. Okay. So because we're so high up in the world, we are at Y level 110, which actually works out quite well. Y level 110 is the level in which I like to build a Nether transport system, so you can travel around relatively quickly in the Nether. And that way you have less likely to encounter ghasts and other things. So, that said, which direction are we right now? So it's that way towards spawn. If I go this way, it's there. So the best advice is always to make your way to a 0 coordinate and then follow that 0 coordinate straight to spawn to create your network. So I'm going to do that just now. So I have plenty of iron to make more pickaxes. One of the bright sides is you don't need to make sure you light everything up in the Nether, so it's not a bad idea to do so anyway. That's Wilo in the block position 50. Okay, Soul Sand. Guess what? I can make a Bubble Vader now. That said, however, I already know that this Soul Sand is going to drive me nuts if I don't replace it, so... It slows you down as you run along it, and when you're like in a hurry to move or you're just like not expecting it, it is so jarring to suddenly find yourself moving so much slower. Alrighty. So, bit of advice. When navigating through the Nether, come up with a system that allows you to use a cheap and easily expendable resource, in this case torches, to mark the paths to things. So, 2 torches on either side of a pathway means that pathway goes somewhere important. 3 torches in a row along the side of something means that's the pathway back to... that will give you access to the pathway back to these transport areas. So if I ever get lost, I have those tools I can use to help me navigate back. You'll note I'm putting the torches every 20 blocks. That means that you can see them and you can easily give yourself an estimate of how far away you are if you can count them. Of course it broke. That is why I bring crafting tables with me virtually everywhere I go. I could use the diamond one, but I don't have mending on it yet, so that would just basically be wasting a diamond tool. Alright. Now, if you look at my coordinates in my F3 screen, okay, you have 2... I thought I saw lava drip. You have 2 0 coordinates. You have -0 and you have +0. That means that, mathematically speaking, 0, 0 is actually the line between these two blocks. So, with that in mind, one of the things that I will almost always do is when I'm on a 0, 0 coordinate, I'm actually digging out 2 blocks wide instead of 1 block wide. This helps denote that even if you don't use the F3 screen, that you are on a major pathway. That way you know that, okay, this is a 2 block wide, this must go somewhere important. This must be on an important set of coordinates, or in this case, fairly important set of, oh, this is where I need to go. Lastly, torches. You can do 2, you can do 1, doesn't matter. I like to do 2 because torches are so cheap. This also makes the Nether a little bit easier to navigate in general, because you're less likely to case in point, you're less likely to rush through things if you know what's already there and if you've already been through it. Develop systems, develop plans, follow through with them. They are some of the most powerful skills that you can ever have. Inside Minecraft, in the world in general, both are equally valid. Are with another 20. So sometimes you can also make these 3 tall if you want to as well, but you've got those options available to you. So with that said, I think I've covered pretty much everything I am going to be able to today. The next things on my agenda are to dig this tunnel to spawn and build another portal there, so that way there's quick and easy access to spawn. We don't have to travel, 5,000 blocks in the overworld. But also, I'm going to go around. I'm going to collect some levels, and I'm probably going to start working on getting some decently enchanted diamond tools. With that, I do appreciate anyone who's tuned in. I will probably be streaming again next week, Friday possibly. With that said, everyone, thank you for tuning in, and have a nice day.